Welcome back, everyone.
Look up.
Wait a minute. You mean you guys left? I've been staying in this and logged in the whole time?
Yep.
But last time on D&D, you all delved into the abandoned area of Iron Forge to deal with a pest problem that they were having as a little bit of a test. Somewhere along the line, Kadir realized this was never meant for me, and I came along here voluntarily when I didn't have to. But anyway, he's here. Sorry, but you made a great point in the chat earlier. You were 100% right. You did not have to come down here.
Oh, I know. I was just trying to be a jerk because everybody else was talking about retconning and weird crap. So it's like, oh, me too, me too.
You discovered a nest of basilisks, dealt with them with a few tricks up your sleeves, some decent planning, but and then some Leroy Jenkins S-ness from the Paladin. You were able to take care of them rather well. And then you decided to continue to explore after dealing with the problem. You found a little nest of dark dwarfs or dwarger. I can't remember how to say them. Sorry for
Durger.
Durger. Sorry for butchering it for those who are watching. And again, Kadir found out that they were there, and as a dwarf himself, seeing them as abominations, straight up told everybody, we need to exterminate them. So you did that, and while dealing with that, you heard noises coming from the northeast from the area you were at, and decided to explore even further.
And we found a host of Erdogan's past girlfriends.
You wish. You must have came over an illusionary spell. But you discovered, to your surprise, a dark elf in a warforged. Which none of you personally have seen before, aside from the warforged. But the elf looked very familiar to Milo, who had actually seen this face in real life before.
Does the face somehow look different than the illusion I conjured for the group after seeing the alternate universe, Setash?
No, it's that face. It's just much better detail because minor illusion versus real, obviously. But none of you have seen this face in person before. But this is the man that you've been dealing with off and on for the past few months.
Didn't they see his face the last time the Ward Forge were there, or with one of his minions that we took out?
As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, you were actually not there for that session, and no,
Yeah.
he was using disguise self to hide his true appearance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we fought Temerity.
I sit corrected.
He chose to continue to have himself hidden this entire time up until now, mostly because he did not expect you guys to be here. Or he probably would have done the same thing this time. Oh, the way the universe works. You set up? Yep.
Almost.
Okay, just let me know.
Much is just loading again.
But Setash walks out from dealing with some large creature in a locked chamber, and you saw him walk out with a very similar looking orb in his hand. You couldn't tell the color because you can only see him blacks and grays right now because of the dark vision. But as he's talking to you, and well, as he's walking out, he puts it behind his back while you guys are talking and he's talking, and then when he pulls his hand back away, it's no longer in his hand. And that's pretty much the gist of what happened last week. This is where we left off, and if you all would prefer, I can retcon the stuff that you said, you tried to do after I'd said that's where we're ending the session last week, if you want me. As if it didn't happen yet.
No, I'm good.
Well,
Anybody else?
You didn't do anything. Erdogan tried to cast something and it was thwarted. Cade is preparing to do something. He hasn't done anything yet, so.
Looks like he's typing in chat. for
I
some reason to
see
confront
that.
Ryan.
Well, Erdogan says, ooh, excellent work on getting the orb. Can I have it? Well, Setash looks over towards Erdogan. No, you can't.
Wait, not even a persuasion roll? Come on.
Some people can't be persuaded.
I tried Erdogan.
He could still think it was funny after everything we've been through.
That's true.
I'm going to, while he's distracted, cast Mage Hand and rip it from his hands. The orb
It's-
from his hands.
It's not in his hand anymore.
Well, it was when we left off.
Yeah, and I said that he put his hand behind his back, and then when his hand came back from behind his back, it was no longer there in his hand.
Yeah, bag of holding or some such.
But as you guys are standing there, he looks over to his Warforged ally, and all of you, this is what you hear, and I'll give the translation for those of you that know Undercommon in a moment. Tirza, and the translation for those of you that know Undercommon, which you can translate through the ring for the others. Tirza, we're done here. I'll be along. Go ahead and leave. After that's said, the Warforged straightens up and starts to cast a spell, which you guys know familiar at this point, the spell wielders. She's casting Dimension Door to get out of here. It's casting Dimension Door to get out of here. Are any
I
of you...
can't do anything. I already used my reaction to try to counterspell his counterspell, unless there's been enough time for me to attempt it again.
I mean, do you really want the Warforged to stay?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, we could potentially get information from it.
Yeah, but that means we got Setash and somebody else.
Yeah.
and like that, the Warforged is gone. Obviously, it can only go around 300 feet, so it's still somewhere around, but you're not sure where. Is it 300 or 500 feet? I can't remember which.
Dimension Door is 300.
Unless you have Spell Sniper, and then you can go actually 600, I think. Setash looks around. Gentlemen, it's been a while. But with Milo standing in front of him, he looks at him. You look familiar.
Milo's PTSD must be kicking in.
Well, technical issues, I apologize. But as Milo is standing there in a mixture of fear and rage, Setash continues. I know we've had our ups and downs, gentlemen.
Wait, is he gonna give me his pants?
No. I do apologize for what my associate Carvrek did to you all that time ago. His orders were specifically go grab the artifact from that dungeon, and he took it upon himself to mess with you all. So I hold no ill will towards you for what transpired in that dungeon. But then you thwarted me again in the lair of the obelisk, and you specifically destroyed that one when I was asking very nicely for you to hand it over. And he looks over towards Cyrus when he says that. And Cyrus, when he's looking at you, you remember the slash that almost killed you, that left a slight scar across your chest.
Yep, I do.
Let's chalk this up to nothing more than a coincidence of running into each other. I am done here. If you'd be so kind as to step aside, I will leave with no incident.
Wait, out of character. Sorry, I had a distraction in the background in the form of a mini me. Uh, what does he want before we leave? He leaves.
For you just to step
He just
aside.
wants to leave.
All he wants is for you all to step aside and let him leave peacefully.
What do you guys want to do?
Perception check.
You're more than welcome to perceive. And for that, let me put that back on there.
Roll 20's not working for me at all.
Oh, he did not roll very well on that persuasion, but he's not lying. All he wants to do is leave.
Since you seem to be in a talking mood, perhaps we can divulge something to each other. You are aware this isn't the first time or world in which we faced each other, aren't you?
He looks at you with a confused expression on his face. I haven't the foggiest clue as what you're talking about.
Several of us have been in contact with the divine. You and I, Decayed. We fought in another world, in another time. I got in contact recently with the Raven Queen, Keeper of Memories. She shared with me memories of that timeline. You successfully got the orbs to carry out, I assume, the same plan you're trying to carry out now. It failed. Instead of reviving your people.
He,
Time itself was shattered.
he looked. He looks at you with a very confused expression and alarmed expression at the same time because he knows for a fact he didn't divulge his plan to you at all. There might be some truth in what you said. In what you say, but that just means, with the route I'm taking now, I just need to be more careful and adjust what I'm doing.
I remember clearly from the memories shared with me from the Raven Queen speaking to them. Sorry, distracted. Speaking to Lathander, said plainly that what you're doing will not work the way you think it will. Only cause disaster.
I know firsthand that I can travel through time. I've done it once. I just need to do it one more time. And as he's saying that, he looks over at Milo. Isn't that right? Because when I first arrived in this time, in this era, you and your dwarf friend were there.
He hasn't. He had a name.
I do apologize for that. I didn't know that I had gone so far into the future. I was only intending to go a couple days. I didn't mean to go as far as I did. I thought I was still at war with the humans and the dwarves at that time. I would have spoken to you if I'd known otherwise. But it seems like you found a nice replacement for what I've taken from you. He looks at your arm, then looks at your group.
Speaking plainly, we know all too well at this point what the path you're walking towards leads to. Yet I doubt we can talk you out of it. So you must know that knowing what you're doing will lead to, we will stand in your way.
You're more than welcome to try to stop me. The only thing I ask right now is for you to step aside. In 1 month's time, I will be heading northeast from here. There's an abandoned dwarven, drow city there. See, these foci that you've been so recklessly destroying are rare and hard to come by in this timeline. And I need more than what I currently have. Give me a perception check, Cyrus. And with my through my research, I know there's at least one more there. Let's have a race, shall we? Let me leave now. And let's see who can get there and get that next one within the month.
How about you give us the one that you have, and the winner gets both?
Ain't you seen us destroy them?
Do you know what these things are capable of? Are any of you aware of what these Folkai are capable of?
Yes. They're seeking cooperation from us. I would like cooperation in return. Call back your companion.
Why?
I have a keen interest in studying the Warforged, and you clearly care for them.
I created them. If you're so interested.
Well, I can hardly ask you to stay at our keep and teach me. Say you leave your companion in our care for that month.
And Cyrus, to answer your question, no, he doesn't. You look as best you can with around his cloak and inside of him from your distance, and you don't see any kind of bag in his back.
Okay.
Even if I did, the only thing that you'd be able to accomplish is a pale imitation of what I've created, as the dwarf have proven over the last 1,000 years of delving into our technology. But I will tell you this. The requirements for creating such beings as the Warforged, as they are, I doubt you're willing to pay the price.
I understand the energies involved with their power researching alternatives.
I wish you the best of luck with that. Let me know how it goes. And he says that with a grin. But as it goes with my companion, I'm afraid the answer is no. She's indispensable. And besides, she's far away from here at this moment. As I would like to be myself.
Ring, do we believe she's as far away as possible?
Kadir does.
Kadir goes quiet. That's what Kadir does.
Well, I'm
Bring
going to
it,
say
Naked.
to the ring, do we stand aside?
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
You make that call.
Look, he can probably kick our asses, but if we can give some sort of blow to him, that would probably be good. I don't fully trust him, and I don't think that we should just, let's let the bad guy walk away. Out
These
of character.
orbs are too. Yeah. Sorry, I'll say it. The orbs are too powerful for one person to control.
Are you saying that through the ring or out loud?
Yeah, through the ring. Yeah. You.
Well, you've given us a month. If you're confident in your strength, surely that means it's plenty of time for you to deal with us now and then race later. It's not in our nature to simply stand aside.
I'm going to make a perception check to see if there's anything on his belt or person that's hanging off loosely.
Okay. All you see is a sword attached to his belt.
I'm going to mage hand and grab it away from him.
Through the ring, Kadir says, hey, let me know when you want me to cast silence on or around the person so we can prevent him from using certain spells against us.
Do it now.
Kadir casts the spell. Targeted on Cade. Do you accept the spell being targeted on you?
I'm currently casting a mage hand to grab a sword.
Well, do you have verbal components on that?
Let's see.
Because if so,
Yes.
cast Mage Hand behind. When you're
Yes.
done, tell me through the ring, and then I'll pop it before you do anything with it.
Okay, after I grab it, you can. And I'll
No,
run
after
up
you,
towards.
after you cast it.
Yeah, I
then do it.
cast it, and then I'm
All right, then I
using
cast
it to-
silence.
trying to grab the sword away from him.
Okay.
As you're all standing there talking through your rings and you're starting to prepare your spells, he says, "Those are some interesting enchanted items that you have on your fingers. Must have taken a lot of work to make them." You should have put some mind shielding on it as well, as he looks over towards Kadir. Go ahead and do your spells.
Mage hand just says it can grabs.
All right, let's do what we're doing.
I couldn't hear you. I already cast my spell.
I mean, yeah, you create a mage hand while he can't really see you thanks to Milo being in his face, and you draw the sword from its sheath and pull it away from him.
I'll bring it back to myself. And I'll put it in the bag of holding.
After you do that, and silence is already created, you all hear in your heads, "That was a mistake." Roll initiative. .
Oof.
I got a plus 10, and my total was 13.
Let's just hope he rolls a 2.
We are not seizing the initiative here.
Has everybody rolled?
No, Milo.
Milo, I need you to roll initiative.
Milo, we need you to take the initiative to roll initiative.
Nice.
By Erdogan rules, natural 20 always goes first.
It's not quite how it works, and unfortunately, Milo's not on the initiative order for some reason. He might not have actually clicked on his token.
He wasn't touching himself.
I'll adjust it to give you that 22, but you need to click on your token when you roll initiative.
My bad.
You got it fixed yet? Nope.
Nope.
Sorry, Roll20 is so laggy and slow right now.
Okay. 22.14, technically. Now let's do the descending. So, we know who goes first. And Setash starts his turn by just holding his hand out towards Cade. And the same sword you just pulled from him is in his hand.
I put that in my bag of holding.
Yes, you did.
Was that a spell?
No, it was not.
Well, poop.
And through your heads, you're not the only one with special weapons.
Out of character. We should have banished Cade. Once he had the sword, banish Cade, and then he wouldn't be able to call him across the plains.
I mean, I'm completely on board with banishing Cade in general. What else is he doing? He took action.
That wasn't an action.
Faces in action.
So, that's not what I'm trying to do. This is his action. With a sword in his hand, no vocal components. And now he has to make an attack against 4 of you. Which the 4 in range are Milo, Cyrus, Kadir, and Cade. Okay. You're casting it at a 4th level?
Yep.
Still got to roll because it's a 5th level spell. The DC's not too hard though. He starts to cast a spell, and nothing happens.
What else you got?
He immediately starts running over this way. That's 30.
Ooh. Attack of opportunity.
Yep, you and Milo both get an attack of opportunity on him. Single
And
attack.
since where he would have been when we would have swung, well, it doesn't matter. Would I get sneak attack if I hit?
For you, he would have been pretty much right here. And he's aware of you that you wouldn't have had advantage on that at all, technically, because he has to be leaving your threat range. Milo gets an
Oh, he
attack of
does, doesn't
opportunity
he?
first, and then you get one.
Slice him one time.
That hits. Go ahead and roll that damage. And Cyrus, your turn. That hits.
More than a 26 hits.
There's 12. And after he stands here for a moment, he ends his turn, not doing anything else. Milo, it's your turn.
Alright, I want to throw up. Second. I want to. God, this is so small. I want to throw up my Shield of Faith.
Okay.
And am I still in range with him?
You can't throw up your Shield of Faith.
I cannot.
You are
Vocal.
within the range of my silence spell.
You would have known that, so I'm going to let you retcon that so you don't waste a spell slot.
Alright. I go to him. As of right now, I don't have my shield up, right?
Your main shield, I would say you wouldn't have that up, so you'd have to use your bonus action to bring it up.
Alright. I want to duel this bad boy.
You're actually out of my silence right now.
Does that hit?
That does not. You get another attack.
I want to try it again, and well, shit. I take my action to throw up Shield of Faith.
Your bonus action, but yes.
Yeah, my bonus action. Do I have to push that again?
No, I see the stuff.
All right. And I want to back off a little bit up to here.
Which, because you attacked him and you have the mobile feat, he does not get an attack of opportunity against you. With the mobile feat, you don't have to worry about if you hit or miss, it still activates. Do you end your turn?
Yes. And I end my turn.
Erdogan, you're up. Erdogan must have a lot to say.
When doesn't he?
Um. Um.
Attack with my dex mod?
I think that would actually most likely be like a deck save on his part.
It would. I'm trying to figure out what the DC for that would be.
Since I'm just flinging a bunch of sand directly at his face.
Definitely think it's a DC of 40.
But regardless of what the DC is, I'm cutting wordsing him to screw up his save.
I think I'm going to give it a DC of 15.
Well, he rolled a 14.
Is he outside of the silence currently?
Yes.
Fear, you there?
I'm
Well,
there, sorry, little one.
he said Milo was out of the silence right there, so he is.
So, when you throw the pocket sand, as you've so called it, he immediately winces back with his eyes shut, going, "Ah!"
Success. That was been my plan the entire time. I randomly picked up that sand.
Now we can leave. Oh God, you did pick up sand.
He is currently blind. I would say he's blind for 2 turns. And I'm going to give him a disadvantage for 2 more turns after that on anything visual.
All right, so action to fling the sand, bonus action to cutting words him. That's my turn.
Cyrus, you're up.
Okay.
He is currently blind, and he's standing right next to Erdogan. You can't get more advantage than that.
Yep. Cyrus is going to use his bonus action to dip a bolt in advanced drow poison, and he's going to fire it at the big baddie. Once I...
You're not going to move up to him and shank him with advantage and get a sneak attack?
I get sneak attack with this because he's in 5 feet.
Don't you do more damage with your knives?
Does that hit?
That does.
Okay. Damage coming up with sneak attack. 32 points of damage. He's got to roll a con save.
Was that with a bolt out of the splitting quiver?
Of course it was. So I get another one. And I would assume when it splits, does the poison go on both?
It would.
So con save on that first one. Okay. He's okay. Next one. Ooh, 17 hit.
That misses. But you
Nope, it
technically.
hit. Oh wait, I can't impact AC with a cutting word. Never mind.
But I was trying to say you technically have advantage on these because he can't see to use his dexterity to get out of the way.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
That
Don't get
hits.
sneak attack on that one. 11 piercing and one more con save. He is in a coma for 24 hours.
Except he's going to use legendary resistance to go ahead and succeed that.
Well, that's just not fair.
Why didn't he use that on my pocket sand?
Because he thought that's a minor inconvenience.
You don't lie. You just thought pocket sand was funny.
I did, but I'm also not going to waste my legendary resistances like I did the last time with the vampire.
Excellent.
I
You weren't
learned.
wasted. You caught on too late on that one.
And then
I did.
and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to move right there. And yeah, that's my turn.
Cade, your turn.
I'm gonna move over one just enough to catch him in the zone of silence and not Artigan. Then I'm going to use the mage hand to take off his belt.
That's an Erdigan trick.
Da 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 da.
Okay, he's blind, so you use mage hand, you take his belt off. That's a
I got
nice.
3 coppers on heart-shaped boxers.
But you remove his belt, and you do see a coin pouch and this a really nice-looking scabbard that his sword was in.
Right.
You
I
doing?
won't say anything to the ring, but I will glance at someone to grab the scabbard, kind of like point towards it. And I will hunter's mark him in case he tries to flee. Wait, can I?
I believe that's a bonus action.
Components voice I cannot, so I I guess that ends my turn.
Okay.
With him pointing at the scabbard and trying to visually get us to pay attention to it, can Cyrus do something about that or not?
Not until your turn.
Okay.
Kadir, you're up.
All right. So first, Kadir's gonna pop a bonus action since he should now be out of silence, and cast spiritual weapon. Assuming a 14 misses.
It does, but I still got to pull out your
I got
weapon. Oh, cool.
I got it. Oh, it
But
had
don't-
advantage too. Sorry.
Yeah, he can't see, so you guys are getting advantage on these because he's blind currently.
All right. Well, we'll just roll again. Hold on.
That looks
I
better.
don't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what my base attack is. I think it's just. I'm assuming it's a +6. Assuming a 17 misses.
It does.
Don't you get advantage since he's blind?
That was the advantage.
Oh.
Because I can't figure out what my attack bonus is with it.
It
Oh
says
no, it's a +9. Oh, sorry. So is that does a 19 hit?
Well, I think that would actually be a 20, and 20 still misses.
Okay. All right. Well then, after that, Kadir's gonna move. And he's gonna throw his weapon at him.
You still get advantage on this.
You said a 20 misses.
Yep.
And Kadir's gonna sit here and say something through the ring for a final of. Actually, he's not. I am gonna ask a question though. Were those doors that were behind him earlier? Are they actually open or closed?
They're broken. Just like the gate that's next to it, there's a big old hole in it. The door has the same thing. You get this the idea that he probably used disintegrate on them.
Okay, that will be end turn. Top of the round.
As he's standing there, can't see. He's listening around the best he can. Also trying to work his eyes a little bit to be able to see. Speaking, obviously, can't hear him. He reaches into to his cloak and pulls a bottle out. And while he jabs the sword into the ground to pull the cork out of the bottle. And as the cork comes out of the bottle, smoke starts rising from the bottle. And this appears. Well, it was actually right there. Go right there. That's not there, right? That'll be fine. That's too annoying to keep trying to fix. Yeah, save. Let me make sure that's working. It is, okay. He tosses the bottle on the ground, grabs his sword back. Still can't see very well. Can't. You guys seriously came up with a pretty good plan on the fly.
Well, it's all the pocket sand.
Oh man, I'm so happy that worked.
We're all gonna be picking up sand now.
Everyone's gonna want a glove of storing.
He's going to walk this way. Which, actually, he can make it right there. Which, that means Cade and Erdogan both get an attack of opportunity.
At advantage still, or
Yeah, he still can't see. You both hit. And after he's out of the silence, he starts speaking. I'll let you deal with my friend here. Which I have to add him to the turn order now. And he shouts out, deal with these pests. Which I don't have to change the turn order at all. And now he's going to use his action surge to cast a spell.
It's a very long spell. That probably takes more than 6 seconds to cast.
One action.
Nope. One action. Counterspell. Level 4.
Okay. Roll using your stuff. 10 plus your spells level. You have to. You roll a d20, adding your spell modifier. Your spell's ability modifier.
Advantage because I'm using my DM inspiration. 20.
He realizes he didn't go anywhere. So he decides to use his nothing, because that's as far as he can go, and that's his turn. Milo, you're up.
Character, would it be? Am I in range of Setash? Or would it be smart to go after big guy?
Don't go after big guy.
Yep, there's two of us who can cast Banish. Big guy's not going to last.
All right. So, how far away is Setash from me?
45 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bam. And I still don't have my shield up, so I'm gonna dual wield my Avenger, and I don't need the advantage.
And for this one, yeah, okay. Okay, roll that damage.
Can I pump smite in it?
You have to
Yeah.
hit first. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Where is it? 1 second.
1001. Your time is up.
What do I use? Searing smite or
What?
what do I use? How do I smite?
The top one.
Oh, what?
You need to help me, I'm sorry.
Be right back.
So this one, just click on that little box right there.
Are you casting using a level 1 spot slot or higher?
Level 1.
Okay. So what you rolled is what you did. So 24.
Sorry,
They need to roll 20.
Okay. So you got another attack, by the way.
and
I want to hit him one more time with it.
Advantage, remember.
Oh, yeah.
So just roll that again since you already rolled once.
Oh.
Or not, that works. 27, that hits. Go ahead and if you want to roll pump smite in again, you can. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Yes, I want to pull up my proto shield and back off.
Okay. Is that your turn?
And my turn is over. Yes, sir.
Erdogan, you're up.
Alright, just a second. Are there plenty of rocks and stuff around me?
Obviously. I mean, you can see rubble everywhere.
Who's got that fireball?
I'm gonna animate objects. That's large. Also large, so both those need to be large. Medium. And they're all gonna attack him.
Okay, well, as a reaction, because he personally can, he's going to Misty Step.
Counterspell. This is a new turn for me, so I can counterspell again. And Misty Step, fuck, I have to cast at a level 4.
Well, that automatically stops him from moving.
Eat rock.
That hits.
Does a net 1 hit?
No, but these have advantage on their attacks.
Okay, well, it's second advantage Wait, does that mean I need to roll advantage on the other one just in case it's a nat 20?
Yes, go ahead and do it.
Okay, no. Alright, first one. Yep. So that hits 10 bludgeoning. And I'm going to roll this one twice just in case I get a nat 20.
Yep.
It's a lot of damage.
Out of character, the thing that was summoned in, what is it?
When you added it to the turn order, it said in a Nefriti.
Yep.
But do we know that?
I mean, out of all of you, I think Erdogan would be the most likely to know that because Lord Bar.
I mean, I don't have time to roll a Arcana in the middle of battle, do I?
No, not currently.
No,
'Cause...
don't worry about it.
But yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Cyrus, you're up.
That seems like a good spot for Cyrus to stand.
Yeah, 5, 10, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I can get right there. Oops. As soon as I take that off. Gonna stand right here. Dip my bolt into my draw poison, my advanced draw poison again, and I still have advantage because he is blinded.
And surrounded.
Cade's still over there pointing towards the scabbard.
29 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, and hold up. Keep the 9 piercing, but here comes my. Can I just roll sneak attack? I can. Okay. So 25 damage, and then a con save.
$22.
That passed.
And I got to do this one,
And
which still fine.
and then the second one coming through. 18
That
does not hit, does it?
does not. Unfortunately, after hitting him the first time, the reaction they hit made him recoil a little bit, which made the other one miss.
And that's my turn.
Cade, you're up.
Right. Question. My mage hand was still grabbing the belt when he moved. What happened with the belt?
You took the belt off when you grabbed it.
All right. So I'll.
Joe, this is taking a very different turn. Wow.
So I'm going. Mage hand is going to stay with the belt, and I'm going to click my heels for a bonus action. Go and try to grab this scabbard off of him.
You
Have
took
to stand there.
the scabbard was on the belt. You took the belt off.
Okay. And I grab the belt
He
from
was-
the mage hand,
He was standing right there.
and then for my bonus action, I will put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Banish me.
I gotta banish that guy first.
I end my turn.
On my turn, I look over at Mr. Ugly standing close to me, and I cast Banishment. Charisma save, DC of 17. Oh, and when I cast the spell, the silence drops.
He rolled a 17.
Cutting word, ability, charisma. That's an ability check. Or if it doesn't specify save, can that still?
Yeah, that's an ability check. I still need a saving throw.
It is a saving throw. When it comes to, I mean,
What
I'll
I'm
s-
what
yeah,
I'm
he's
saying
got
is-
one. Sorry, I'll roll that. Here's the saving throw.
No, what I'm saying is if my cutting word specifies ability check, does that mean it doesn't work on saving throws?
That's what it would mean.
I'm going to Google that.
And didn't you already use your reaction with the counterspell?
He did, but he can also check that for future reference.
Okay.
True. Yeah, I can't do anything then.
You doing anything else, Kadir?
Yes.
You still have a bonus action and movement.
And a spiritual weapon.
I'm gonna move there. That's my bonus action though. And I am going to keep the spiritual weapon where it is to take a swing at the big nasty.
Makes sense.
19 hit it.
That hits it.
10 force damage.
You doing anything else, or you done?
Sorry, intern.
Okay, so now it's the new thing's turn. And it's going to look around. And cast a spell.
I can't do anything about that.
Right over in this area.
Poop. Don't hit me. I have to maintain concentration.
Well, I got to add it to the turn order.
No, you don't.
They got really crappy turn orders. Which is good for you guys. And that's pretty much all he can do on this turn, technically. So, he's going to move right here, and that's it.
Okay. Does the elemental attack this turn?
No, it's summoned this turn, so it's not allowed to attack.
This isn't dual monsters.
Yeah. Google says, yeah, no. Cutting word was not work on a saving throw.
It's going to do a multi-attack against Erdogan, because Erdogan's the closest thing to him.
Oh, I miss.
15, and then the next one.
Let's see. I've already used my reaction, so that hits.
10 bludgeoning damage, and I need a concentration check or constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Which is the same thing. You're fine. And that's its turn. Now he's up again. And he actually opens his eyes now. He can see again, but not very well.
I used my counter spell on his turn. That means I got it back on mine.
And then you used it again on.
His Misty Step.
No,
I
I
used it on. Yep.
I used it on his Misty Step, then I had my turn. So I should have had a reaction that whole time.
You used your reaction on your turn.
For what?
Because
You summoned the rock element, the elemental thingies that you have surrounded him, and then he, as a reaction, attempted Misty Step, and then you countered spelled.
as a
Oh,
reaction.
As a reaction.
His reaction got it. Yeah, that makes sense. So if he teleports again, I can't do anything about it this time.
Don't tell the DM that.
Oh, the DM was fully aware. But at this point, he's pissed. And you know, Cade, that belt that you took off of him didn't have the sword in it, just the scabbard.
Oh shit.
Let's have
So
some
what's-
fun. He casts reverse gravity right here.
Fuck.
Which in doing so, which it's I think a 50-foot radius. So let's see how big that is. Erdogan, you're faster at this. You want to give me a 50-foot radius thing real quick?
50-foot radius is huge, dude.
Yeah, I think it gets everything.
Yeah, we're gonna say everybody's in it, including him.
I mean, 50-foot radius from there, you're talking.
I mean, that's not big enough.
Well, no, that's 50 feet from the center, so it's 50 feet all the way around.
Yep.
Because it's
That's
a radius, not a diameter.
That's not big enough. Like that's still
That's-
like 20 feet too small, but everyone gets it.
In doing so, and his offhand, after casting the spell, the orb immediately reappears in his hand. You kind of get the gist that he used a spell to hide it. And that's why I've been rolling those Constitution saves this whole time, every time you hit him. But now, all creatures and objects that aren't somehow anchored to the ground in the area fall upwards, reaching the top of the area when you cast the spell. By the way, this goes up 100 feet, the ceiling's 70 feet tall. So you are all
It
about
says I could make a dex save to grab onto a fixed object. Is there a fixed object around me?
I mean, there's cracks in the ground if you want to try to hold on to it.
Dex save? Yeah, I'm going to attempt to hold on to a crack in the ground.
I will attempt to not die as well.
I'm holding onto a crack in the ground.
I'm falling to my death.
Is anyone else trying to grab onto something?
Yeah.
Can't I fly?
Yeah, on your turn, assuming that
Yeah.
assuming that the DM says it takes long enough for you to fall for you to get that fly off.
A dexterity save.
I would say it would take
Be right back.
up until his next turn before you actually hit the ceiling.
All right, so this animated object, it's fallen to its doom. Oh wait, I targeted rocks. They don't have feet or any other feasible means of fighting or of walking. Per the description of animated object spell, that means they can fly. Correct? Says right there. They don't have legs or anything like that, or any appendages for locomotion. It says it has flying speed of 30 feet and can hover, i.e., they are immune to that spell.
Well, they're still upside. They still go up a little bit and have to turn themselves right up. But yeah,
Blake.
it wouldn't be very much.
Does that spell affect him since he's in the radius?
Looks like it would.
Yes, he's hit by it too. Sorry, I was having a few people ask me questions.
So he's up in the air as well.
He hasn't rolled a save yet.
Oddly enough, He's standing on the ground, not moving.
That dick.
Is a 21.
Well, you do get advantage on these, so you get actually 28. You get a nat 20 on your save. So you're grabbing onto the closest thing to you to keep yourself from falling. So let's see who all failed. Cade and Erdogan failed.
I failed.
Cade and Erdogan failed. I got a roll for the Earth Elemental, which I have to roll this because that's all I can roll. They failed. And the Ifriti is a flying creature, so it just has to turn right itself on its turn. So, that being said, he used his action to cast that. He still has a bonus.
Okay, 1 sec.
Okay. He actually just starts walking on the side of this building. And starts walking over this way.
Do my objects get attacks of opportunity?
All three of them, yeah.
Rock punch! Is he still blind?
No, he can see now. Now he just gets disadvantage on his attacks and stuff at the moment. For 2 more turns. Miss.
17 hit? 19 hit?
Miss.
Poop.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And you can go here. And I believe... Oh yeah, I forgot it's something.
Banana.
Okay, well... I was wrong. I can't do that, so... Oh yeah, he can do this. Suddenly, this is a bonus action. So it'd be there. There's another Setash present.
This is fine.
So, Milo, your turn.
Which spell can I use to make me fly? Take flight? Is it? What's it?
It's a racial ability. that you're trying to use.
Sorry, still.
It's not a spell.
He's trying to do this.
Radiant
It's-
Soul.
yeah.
It's in your skill spot on the side. I brought it open. Yes, Erdogan opened it up in the chat so you can see the same thing. That's what you can
Blake said. Blake said we're not going to collide with the new floor until Setash's next turn.
do. Because it's pretty high up. It's going to take about 6 seconds.
Is there any way I can save them from falling to their death?
You can grab one of them.
Which one is closest to me?
That's your call.
Who's falling to their death?
You don't know. You can see everybody trying to grab onto something. But this is all happening so fast. Just have to try to pick somebody. But that's going to take your turn, period.
Yes, I'm fine with that. The only person I can remember,
The only person I can see
not
being able to grab anybody is Erdogan. So I use my turn to catch him. That's probably I probably messed up, but I love you both.
No, man, that was perfect. I mean, I can fly too, so.
Fuck!
Oh yeah, he's an ace.
But I wasn't.
Fuck me.
No, I wasn't planning on flying.
Uh,
So well done, because that takes an action.
Alright, and I in my turn, sorry who falls to their death.
Erdogan, your turn.
Does he has the orb out right now?
In his hand, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do a 5th level fireball through the loop.
Cool. He's going to attempt to counterspell it at 3rd level. So it's a d20 plus his spellcasting modifier. His stat thingy, obviously.
And that's an ability check? Yes, it is. I'm going to Cutting Words him as a reaction to his counterspell. Once he rolls. I mean, I'm doing it either way, but once he rolls.
So he has to beat a 15 technically. Spellcasting ability, which is this, which he fails anyway.
I mean, I already announced it, so.
So now he has to do this.
Believe he still has a legendary or 2 left.
Yeah, but he's going to take it.
Okay. Was that not enough to blow up the orb?
Probably not.
When you see the light from the fireball going off, you see the color of the orb. It's purple. And when the flames lick it, hitting it, he just holds onto it tight. And it doesn't seem like it's affecting it. But your fireball does make this guy disappear.
Yes. All right. He has concentration.
He is using concentration, so that was a 27, so he has to beat a 14. Which he does.
There, there, there. They're all aiming for the orb.
You're doing a specific target, a smaller target that's in his hand.
I mean, they're basically punching at his torso, wherever he's holding the orb.
So is this orb smaller than the rest of the orbs that we've seen?
Well,
Because the other orbs were a good size.
yeah, they were a good size for characters like Cyrus and Cade. It's about the sizes of their heads, which he can still hold with one hand,
Mm-hmm.
especially
So-
if he's putting it towards his chest.
So what I'm saying is he's holding it near his torso. They're attacking that direction at him, but trying to hit the orb. So
Okay.
if they don't hit the orb,
Still going to try to. Yeah, just roll the attacks. That hits.
does that hit? Huh? Poop.
That misses. And that misses. The one small rock does hit the orb, and it kind of sounds like you might have put a crack in it. You're not sure because you're a little far away. But you did also hit him.
Well, I'm going to vicious mockery the orb.
You're going to vicious mockery an inanimate object that cannot hear you.
Have to hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it has to be a creature. Well, then I can't. No more bonus actions. Already used my action. Right? Yeah.
And I specifically said it's on your turn when you hit, not his next turn. By the way.
Well, I got caught. He saved me. Wait, I haven't used a bonus action, right? Yeah, I did because I used Cunning Word. I announced that before he attempted his save. That's my turn.
Okay, so Cyrus, you're kind of stuck right there.
Don't fire his crossbow.
I could say you
Yeah.
would still be able to throw a weapon at him or shoot a weapon at him, but you're not going to be able to dip anything at anything because as soon as you let go, you're falling.
Okay. And I no longer have advantage on an attack because
But he is being flanked.
You still get
Hold
your
up.
sneak attack because he's being surrounded by things at the
yeah, but I don't get advantage on the attack. So I'm going to fire my crossbow at the orb.
Do you still have an explosive arrow? Bolt?
Well, of course I do. Who wouldn't have an explosive arrow bolt? 18 to hit the orb.
I'm going to say because you're specifically aiming at a smaller target, I'm going to have to ask you to roll at disadvantage. You're not aiming at him personally, you're aiming at something he's holding.
Okay, so I got an 18 and I got a 29, so an 18.
18 would still hit, and you're using the explosive bolt.
And I am using the explosive bolt.
You also told me that in an inanimate object like a door, if hit by that bolt, it's an automatic crit. That's what you told me.
Yes.
However,
There is no however. It's a critical.
Yeah.
Everything you roll from this point forward is critical damage. Your sneak attack, the bolt itself, uh, the explosion, and the bludgeoning damage.
Good God.
So that'd be 18 sneak, 12 plus 19 piercing. So 18 sneak, 19 piercing, and the explosive. What was the explosive again?
1d6 fire, 1d6 bludgeoning.
Which all your inanimate objects get hit by that too, by the way. They have to roll dexterity saves to keep from getting hit.
So that's the first 1d6, which was bludgeoning. And then here is fire.
So 6. 6 and 6. I said the DC for trying to avoid getting hit by that is 15, so
You did, yep.
So both the large ones get hit.
so they get hit by 12 points of damage in all unless they are resistant to bludgeoning or fire.
They're not inanimate objects, so they shouldn't get crit.
They're animated inanimate objects. They're considered constructs, which are still get critted by that this sort of thing.
You say so. So
Yep.
12.
Yep.
How's that orb looking?
It blows up.
Yes!
I love it.
So I need to know when the orb blows up, is the concentration check gone?
I think I rolled that too low. Let me look through my notes to see the damage that the other ones did. Oh yeah, I need to add 5 more to that. So, that's 49 points of damage to him and the 3 inanimate objects around him. They can roll to try to. They can roll dexterity to try to keep from getting hit by it, but they'd still take half damage.
It's a higher DC, right?
Yeah.
So medium one's dead. And unless
roll
16 passes, all my animated objects are dead.
And he's actually was holding on to the orb, so he doesn't get a save. And that's 49.
He's taking a lot of damage.
Oops. Yeah, but you notice that every time you hit him, he doesn't look like he's taking any damage at all. But you do start seeing small cracks across his armor and his face and his hands. Very similar to how Carvrak looked when you were attacking him at first.
He has a shield that's got that much HP?
So that means he doesn't have to make a con save for the reverse gravity, huh?
Oh, he does because he's taking the hits. He's just not taking the damage. These things are he's taking the damage, but this particular shield, as you call it, is temporary hit points. So he still has to make the saves and everything. So to avoid dropping the reverse gravity, he has to roll a
Lot.
24 or higher. 25 or higher. And this is a save. He failed, but he's going to use his legendary resistance to keep it up.
Okay.
So he has one left. So that was good for you. And you hurt him. Cade, you're up. No one grabbed you. No one tried to stop you. You're going to hit the ceiling.
Before I hit the ceiling, do I get an action before I hit the ceiling?
You're free falling at this point on your turn.
Yeah.
If you want to try to cast a spell or anything before you hit the ceiling, I would say you hit it at the end of your turn. So, yes, if you're going to cast a spell, I'm going to need you to roll your spell casting ability first to see if you can concentrate enough to do it. So I believe that's charisma for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You can cast.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast him.
How far away can you cast that?
120 feet.
You're still within range, so yeah.
Both miss.
Rolled 2 2s.
Yeah.
I believe the way fall damage works is it's 10 damage for
It's
every
1d6 per 10 feet.
I'm going
up to 10, I believe.
Right before I hit, I'm going to
So that'd be
activate Tomb of Levictus.
Okay. That's 7d6 to hit when you hit it. By the way. So roll.
Give me a second. And how much did you say? 76?
26 points of damage is what you're going to take.
Alright. I gain 50 HP.
Okay, so you lost a little over half of
Temporary.
it. You lost a little over half of it, and you cannot move whatsoever.
Hey, hold on just a sec. Oh, never mind. That was the exploding bolt. That one doesn't split. Never mind.
Yeah, if you try to split that one, it would blow up right in your face.
Yep, and I was told that, so I knew that.
Do it.
Oh yeah, it would be
24.
funny to me.
Right, and that's my turn.
Okay, Kadir, you're holding on, so you can more or less cast a spell. I mean, if you're holding on, you can still throw your hammer, but you can't move.
Oh, but I would like to argue that point. I have these things called immovable rods. I would like to use them to get to as my movement, in conjunction with my movement, to get as close to Setash as possible, and then chuck my hammer at him.
I would say you can move go use your half movement for that. And for you, half movement, you get 25 feet per
30.
30. Oh yeah, you increased it, so
I
you
took a
can move
feet.
15.
And then I'm. So he's still within throwing, but it's at disadvantage. Also, just because I can, and this is going to be funny.
I haven't had a reaction yet this turn. Or have I?
You used.
I don't know. You seem to like to use them like right away.
You.
I don't think he has this
You
time.
did
I think I
technically,
did. Cutting words, yeah. Never mind.
which you said you did anyway when he failed as a thing to try to stop it. I mean, I wasn't really going to count it, but you made that mistake and you were going to hold yourself to it.
Bonus action.
You going to give yourself guidance or something?
Nope. Spiritual weapon. Does a 25 hit?
The Ifriti, yeah, that hits. him.
No. I cast it again, dismissing whatever the other one is and pulling out another one. There's I was just going to keep another one
Right there, or on the other
back
side.
Yeah, I can't move that one. So, yep. So 25 hit him.
That hits him.
Seven force damage.
-7. And I'm going to be honest with you, even if he rolls a nat 1, he would still pass the concentration check on that.
I'm not worried about that.
So now you're gonna chuck a hammer at him. I mean,
Yeah.
you did technically just chuck a hammer at him, but are you gonna chuck another hammer at him, or you can use a cantrip as a bonus action, as a main action, since you use your bonus action to cast a spell.
Um, actually, that's a fair point. I'd like to retcon the roll that I just did, not thinking about that. We're going to toll the dead the dude. Has he? So technically, he's not at 100% health. I mean, he's taking hits, so I don't know how that works with his shield.
Because he's taken so much his protective barrier has taken so much damage, which is a protective barrier of temporary hit points. Yes, you would still get the D12.
All right. Well, wisdom save of 17. Pull out that 20 something.
No, he failed.
Sweet.
He rolled a 3.
Well, 8 necrotic damage.
Okay, so are you doing anything else, or
Nope. Moved. Bonus action. Action. I'm done.
now it's this guy's turn? And you two, the two Asmers, I would say you made it about 20 feet or so before Erdogan was caught. So he's actually just going to come over here. And he's going to do a multi-attack. One against Kadir and one against Cyrus. This one's against Kadir, obviously straight up miss. And then this one's against Cyrus.
That hits. And I am going to use evasion.
That was smart. So you take half of 24, so 12. You take
Not evasion, but whatever it is, it's uncanny dodge. Uncanny dodge, yes.
So you take 8 slashing and 3 fire.
11 points altogether.
And that's its turn. And now it's the Earth Elemental who hits the ceiling. It doesn't have anything special it can do. So it takes 7d6 as well. 22 points of damage as it hits the ceiling. And that's its turn. It's kind of it uses half its movement to stand up and can't reach any of you. So that's just what it's going to do. And it's not unmade earth at all. I mean, it's sculpted earth, so he can't try to use his earth elemental abilities in there. So that's his turn. Setash looks around. I gave you plenty of chances to let me leave.
Fun.
And that's twice now you've broken my orb in my hand. Out of his cloak, he pulls out an hourglass, looking directly at Cyrus.
Good.
Now, question, that's a targeted spell? Like he's got to look, like he's got to point to me and the spell comes to me?
I mean, a creature you can see, and he can see. He just has a disadvantage on when he's trying to do a straight-up attack, but he can see you.
He can see me, okay.
So, roll that Constitution save.
That con save. Where's my con save?
the hourglass in his hand breaks, and you take 65 points of necrotic damage.
Oh!
And more so,
But before that continues, question: am I able to use my DM boon thing on another player to allow him to re-roll?
you can pass it on to another player if you want.
I'm passing it on to Cyrus right now.
Do
Roll your save.
reroll my save? Okay.
Re-roll your save.
That's good. You take
Right.
32 points of necrotic damage. And that's a good thing he did that, because you started feeling like you were rapidly aging. If the save fails, the target also ages to the point where it only has 30 days left before it dies of old age.
Ah,
Nice. Still, ow.
And as a free action, he's dropping the reverse gravity. He still has his bonus, but before that, give me a moment while I look through some stuff.
does that
Sorry.
mean the earth elemental's going to take another full hit with the ground?
Yep, he doesn't care.
What about Cade?
So is Cade. Yeah, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I overlooked. Where is it? That's not what I'm looking for. There it is. He's going to use his bonus action. No, he's not. He doesn't need that. Actually, he doesn't really have anything he can do for his bonus action, I don't think. So, yeah, he's going to end his turn. Milo, you're up. You can technically let Erdogan go and use your full thing. He's just going to drop 20 feet.
Do it. I'll take the damage.
That's the plan. I was gonna drop my again, and so K doesn't have to waste another turn. I will catch him.
That's not
So he
Cade.
doesn't
Cade.
take.
That's not Cade.
I know. Where is he?
Oh,
Do
all
all
halflings look
halflings
the
look
same,
the
right?
same?
I'm completely frozen. No need to catch me.
He's frozen in a prison of ice
Oh,
at the
okay.
ceiling.
Quick,
You could not
somebody
make
grab
it
a
to
large glass. We can get it chilled.
That's okay. So I go around him, and he excuses my racism.
No, we take full offense at your racism.
You do you do provoke an attack of opportunity from the Ifriti. Does a nat 20 hit?
Uh, yeah.
Cool. You take 21 points of slashing damage and 17 points of fire.
What?
Painful.
Ow.
It was a critical.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt it in my jellies. So I need to, what, 80, 81?
I
80?
already I did it for you.
Oh,
Just know that you are now flanking him, so you get advantage on these attacks. And don't forget about your Radiant Soul. You get to add an extra, because you're level 10, an extra 10 points of Radiant damage to one of your attacks.
um,
That hits, but you get to roll at advantage, so roll one more time to see if you're critical.
okay.
You didn't crit, but the 29 is technically what you rolled.
I'm going to punch Smite into that bitch. Can I roll it out as level 2?
That's an extra 1d8.
So, slash R.
Yes, space, then 1d8.
And then you're plus 10 radiant.
Plus 10. I'll do that.
Don't worry, I got it.
Yep, you don't have to worry about it. That's just an extra 10 because of Radiant Soul.
Oh, thank you. And do I have a bonus action?
You still have one attack
One attack. Oh, yeah.
and a bonus action. I do want to point out to you that normally you have 40 feet of movement on the ground, 50 feet of movement on the ground, and the air flying, you only have 40.
Duly noted. I'll just do a regular Avenger, no spite.
It's at advantage.
It's at an advantage. Okay. Sorry, roll 20 is laggy for me. Bam. Okay.
That hits. 2 19s.
And can I want to back off. Lay of hands. I want. Oh no, yeah. Shh. Chris didn't. I mean, Milo didn't say that.
You also couldn't technically move. You used all your movement to get there, more or less.
Yeah. I would like to use some of my lay on hands to heal me.
You can't.
I can't. All right, then I end my turn.
You use your
You go fuck
your action.
yourself.
You used your action and your bonus action already.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Erdogan, you're up.
I'm dead.
I'm going to take an attack of opportunity from the Ifriti to move here.
You also have to take 2d6 of damage from the fall. And you're prone, by the way. You have to stand back up. No, I'll give you a dex to see if you fell.
Dex save?
Yeah. I'll let you say. It's only 20 feet, so I say you landed on your feet, but it hurt like a mother.
So I take 2d6.
I rolled. You took 5 damage.
Okay. Okay. Now that I'm here,
Oh yeah, attack of opportunity from the Ifrit.
from the Ifriti.
12.
Miss.
Misses. Apparently the Ifriti just really liked Milo.
Through the loot. C21.
against Setash.
Yep.
And he's going to use his last legendary resistance to keep that from actually working.
Making him run away.
Yeah. He also doesn't take any damage, right?
He still takes damage. Let me look at it. Half damage.
Okay, so
Doesn't have to move away.
you hit him for 14, so that's 7. Oh, that not 17. 7.
And I'm gonna look at him straight in the eye, assuming he's facing relatively close to me, and I'm gonna say, "Prepare your anus." Through the loop.
He failed. He's rolling low. So that's 7 points of damage.
It's my turn.
Okay, Cyrus, you're up.
Cyrus looks at Setash after taking all that damage, pulls out the advanced drow poison one more time.
May I retcon?
What were you wanting to try to retcon?
I want to inspire Cyrus.
I give everybody 1. This is your 1.
Cyrus. Stab him in the anus!
Wow. 23 to hit.
That hits him.
29 points of damage, and I need a con save. He is in a coma for 24 hours. Stop hitting him.
Oh wait, there goes concentration. Bye bye, other people.
That's an item, and also he uses a reaction.
What?
Do you think I didn't have any other thing available?
Reaction to do what?
You can peer through possible futures and magically pull one of them into the events around you, ensuring a particular outcome. When you or a creature you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to ignore the die roll and decide whether the number rolled is the minimum needed to succeed or one less the number needed. Your choice. When you use this feature...
Basically, he gets 4 legendary resistances.
Okay. So he succeeded the poison?
He did.
He still took another 29 damage.
And here comes one more.
Except that one.
And I'm inspired. No, I'm inspired, though. I am inspired.
Come on, 10.
19 to hit. No.
That still misses.
Fuck!
Wait, doesn't the arrow split?
Yeah, that was a split.
That was the second one. That was the second one.
Balls.
Yeah. So I've used bonus. I've used my attack. I am not too concerned about the Ifrit, so I am going to... I'm just going to run down this hall for a minute.
Okay, you get
To
an
there.
attack of opportunity. 19 to hit.
That hits.
He doesn't get an attack of opportunity, I'm sorry. because
Yeah, he retook it.
he already
He
took
already
it.
took an accept. Yeah, against me.
Actually, I have to retcon that. You get your points back because he did that against Milo. Remember, he only gets
Oh.
one reaction, so you can give yourself back your HP. I apologize for that. And that's all you're doing?
Yep, that's the end of my turn. That's everything I've used.
Okay, Cade, you're falling back down to the ground, taking 7d6. Another 29 points of damage.
All right. Since they both take effect at the end of the turn, do I melt first or after?
I would say you melt after.
All right.
Or
so I
does
take,
the ice shatter upon contact with
yeah.
the ground?
Pretty much what happens.
Yeah. All right. So I lose 5 actual points of damage. And that's my turn.
All right, bonus action. I move the hammer closer to Setash.
20 feet.
For my actual action, as a 5th level spell, I cast Dispel Magic on the Ifrit. So
Fuck.
whatever effect brings it there. So in theory, because it should be concentrating on summoning the Earth Elemental, both of those should be gone.
Well, you'd be surprised. The Earth Elemental is gone. But the Ifrit was actually inside of an item that it was released from.
Yeah, but wouldn't the dispelling of that send it back to the item?
Give me a second.
That's a good question.
Because you're basically dispelling the effect that's happening.
It was a physical Ifriti trapped in a bottle. And it has multiple effects, but he had used it a couple times already. You don't know when. And I don't know. I'll let you. I'll let you have it.
All right, so I was going to ask, is the Ifrit free now? It can do whatever it wants?
Oh yeah. Is the controlling the Ifrit a magical effect?
Well, that would be on the bottle itself, which is on the ground somewhere.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's not knowing what it was. That's what Kadiri would try to do. So
I'll let you have it because
happens?
it doesn't specify.
And sorry, not liking that. I understand attack of opportunity.
He already used
3.
his reaction.
Oh, 3, 4.
I was doing dissonant whispers so we could smack them down.
Yeah, I do better from ranged.
Oh well.
So I'm done.
Taking a look at the situation. I believe he can make it. Mm, You both get an attack of opportunity against him if you haven't used a reaction yet.
What are you
I
doing
have-
here?
I have not.
Milo, you get to attack him. That misses. Erdogan.
20 misses?
Yeah. That misses. Milo.
I'm not rolling with
An advantage anymore, am I?
No, but you still got a 19 on that one.
Yeah, that was your first roll.
You didn't use your bonus action to say you hid, so he knew exactly where
Oh,
you went.
Yeah. My bonus action was used to put poison on.
He looks down at you. Hi. And immediately attacks you. 25 to hit.
That definitely hits.
20 points of damage.
Uncanny dodge. So I take 10.
He hits you again. 25 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
A little less this time.
So I'm at up to 25 points of damage.
And he's going to attack you one more time. 26 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, he popped the ring.
So that's another. So 50 points of damage. Awesome. Okay.
You're still alive?
Yep.
God.
He leans down towards you. If I see you again, you're dead.
I look right back at him. You won't see me.
And he's
Screw
out.
that.
He's played.
You're dead now, Setash.
He's out of your view, and he's going to use a bonus action because he can to Misty step away.
Does Cyrus see which way he misty steps?
Yep.
And he's got one more thing. Was that a bonus action or reaction? I think it was a reaction that he could use, or both.
Bonus. Misty Step is bonus action.
For normal people.
Oh.
You got special items that can do special things. Do you not think other people do too?
That's just not fair. Okay.
And let's see. And oh yeah, he can do it this way too. He uses bonus action to Misty Step, and now he's going to end his turn right here. Milo, you're up. You know he went down that alley, but that's as far as you really know.
Can I go through to... Kadir?
What do you need?
No. Can I go through that corridor?
That little alley? Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
As I see him, I point behind me.
10, 15, 20,
That's where
30, 30.
Shadash went.
You would actually be about. Oh, you were standing.
Oh
here.
yeah. I'm still in flight.
You can get right there.
I mean, not if he can go further than that if he goes diagonally.
Well, he'd have to go up about 20 feet and then go forward.
He was, what, right here?
Right there.
Right there. So go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Right there.
And
He'd have to go 20 feet up first and then go.
is there any way I can use my lay on hands on both of us?
You can't reach him,
Can't
but you can.
Okay.
Punch the
Can
Dash
I?
in the dick.
I can hit him with my javelin. All right. Uh, returning javelin. Bam.
It's 30 feet average. I believe that's within the range. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's just out of range, so I need you to roll one more time.
Roll higher.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, as a bonus action, he's going to misty step. I mean, as a reaction, he's going to misty step one more time.
Kadir looks up from his thoughts. Hey, where'd everybody go?
That automatically made your attack miss, and the javelin comes back to you, and that's your turn, technically.
I figured that. Can I use? Can I still use lay on hands on me?
You can. Well, what's lay on hands say? Is it an action or a bonus action?
Where would I see that?
It's an action to use it.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
So,
I had
Erdogan,
my turn.
you're up.
May I quickly request his current location in relation to them?
If they can see him, they can tell you.
I cannot.
Technically, he's outside my dark vision. But
Yep.
I can tell you that he kept running down this alley. That's all I know for sure.
Okay, I can't see him
The
either.
straight
I'm going
corridor.
to aim. I'm going to use my cape of mountebank. I'm going to aim it here. Dimension door.
Okay.
Boom! I see him. That was an action. As a bonus action, I'm gonna say, "You can't get away, motherfucker!" Through the loop. Bloop.
Okay, and that's a wisdom.
PC 21. Motherfucker!
And
Alright, takes no damage.
and can you move, or are you?
I mean, you
Yeah,
still
I can
have
still move.
movement.
I can move right up to him. It's my turn.
Cyrus, you're up.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Will get me there. Bonus action. Dash. To get me there. $30 to hit.
That hits him.
29. 34 points of damage. Right in his back.
In his anus. Given your height, you stabbed him in the anus.
I'm picturing it kind of like in that movie, Training Day with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, where at the one part Denzel gets shot right in the back, in the buttocks.
My
Is he
neighbor.
Is he still standing?
The DM doesn't want to admit he's not.
Blake's
Sorry,
lack of reaction.
Sorry, I took my turned my mic off. Yes, he's still standing.
Fuck.
Okay, so it took me 20 feet to get to him. I do have the mobile feet, so I am moving there. And that was my bonus. Yeah, that was all my movement, my bonus action, and my action. How was he looking though?
The same.
The same.
How much temporary hit points did he have?
You don't know.
Someone dispel magic on that shit?
And you used all your actions and everything, so that's your turn. Cade, you're up.
That was my turn.
He has
I'm
as
going-
many temporary hit points as he needs for him to survive this encounter, because of the DM's intentions.
Going to click my boots, run 50.
You run right underneath Milo's legs, which Milo wasn't expecting, so that startled you a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, look, he caught a bag of tea.
His head brushed against your peepee.
I still can't see him, can I?
If you can see him, then
Oh,
you can
come
see
on,
him.
Milo's peepee's bigger than
I
that.
can see some shadows, but like up there, but not.
Then I would give you
Can he
disadvantage.
at least?
Shadows.
Can he at least take one like damage?
Well, it was
From
for the
taking from a
purpose
teabag?
of I'm going to attempt to hold person. If I could see him for that purpose.
I mean, if,
it's effectively straight ahead of you and down the hallway, so
Yeah.
well, technically he's within your line of sight. It's just he looks shadowy, so yeah, I would allow you to try to cast that. And that's a wisdom save.
Wisdom.
He passes.
That's my bonus action move and action in my turn.
Kadir, you're up.
Alright. Can you double time it? Dang, I can see him, but I can't do anything.
He's
Toll
out
the
of the.
Dead not a bonus?
Huh?
Is Toll the Dead not a bonus action?
No, it's not.
Fuck.
Most of my spells are all actions.
So is
Well,
that your
poop.
turn?
And yes, that is my turn.
He's probably not very happy with me right now.
Oh, yeah, no, that's my turn.
He's not very happy with you right now. He's not happy with you at all right now. He's trying to consider his options. Well, DM's trying to consider the options. And he's actually going to duck inside here. You get an attack of opportunity, Erdogan.
Did I use inspiration on my last turn?
No.
$16 misses.
You can still use your reaction to inspire yourself.
No, inspiration is a bonus action, not a reaction.
Well, you can use your
Cutting
bonus.
words.
Oh, you're using bonus action right now to try to hit, so you couldn't do that.
using a reaction right now to try to hit. So
And you hear a voice shouting out, I've given you every opportunity to let me leave. You let me have to work this hard to do so. Pray that we don't meet again. And you hear you see a slight flash coming out of the building.
I can't do anything about that.
He's out of all your views.
All right, he got away. Like, don't
So
act
we're
like
out
we
of
didn't put up
combat?
a better fight than you thought we would.
You put up a senseless fight. But yes, you put up a good fight.
Why
It's
was it
fun.
a senseless fight? At the end of the day, you have to look at it this way. Think about it from a different perspective. We don't trust what he's trying to do isn't going to harm people that we care about. If you had a chance, and even take it real world, if you had a chance to fight somebody that you didn't know if you had a full shot with, or let them get away and possibly give them an edge that might hurt your children, would you fight them now or wait?
Right? Fucking meow.
Exactly.
I mean,
Also,
I get your point of view 100%. Except you also got to look at it this way. All he was trying to do was leave until he decided to hit Cyrus that one time because he pissed him off.
Yeah.
I have that reaction on him.
No, that's
But
fine.
guys,
I mean, if
I gotta
we
get
could
go-
stop.
I
Go
gotta
ahead.
get going. So does somebody want to take over my character?
I'm assuming what we've got left is RP, unless we're pretty much done. Like I'm
I'll
good
take over your
to-
character for RP. I won't get you killed.
Okay, sounds good. Just
I
a
wanna
heads
take
up in
over his
case something
character.
does happen. I am
I
down
will
to
get
2
you
hit
killed.
points.
Yeah, he's quite literally at 2 hit points. Setash could have
I'm at
killed him at
2
any
hit
time.
points.
Would
Yeah.
it be pointless to put all of my lay on hands in him?
I'm just to be safe. I'm gonna.
I'm going to lay of hands him too.
Cured him for 11.
I
11?
can cure him. Where is he? Can I move up?
Here,
Well-
yeah, there we go.
Let me give.
You gain 20 from me,
Okay.
and
11 from me.
everyone.
I'm
I got 11
currently
and 20.
giving Kadir temporary control over your character.
May I ask where he's at on hit points?
So after the 20 and the 11, I'm at 33 now.
Alright, then I'll dump 40 in him.
Okay.
40?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm at 73 now.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I'm good. But I'm going to
And-
leave my character to Matt, and I got to get going, guys. This was fun.
And all of us
Love
gain
you, boo-boo.
7. All of us gain 7.
Are they temporary or proper?
They're proper.
All right. Well, I'm already max, so
Okay. Well, you guys have fun. Matt, I'll catch you later to hash this out, and I'll see you guys next week.
later, dude.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
So, after the flash of light, I mean, you all can go check to see if he's in there or what happened, but you all pretty much know what happened.
For fighting games, I'll walk in there with my wand of detect magic, burn a charge, concentrate. Do I detect him anywhere?
Nope, just lingering magic.
Awesome.
How far reach does that detect magic have?
It's hold on. $30 feet in front of me.
Okay.
So, like, I would go here.
Yeah, you don't sense anything in that area. Not down this alley, anyway.
All right. Well, Kadir's thing is we cleaned out a whole bunch of trash. Let us.
Just to, yeah. As they're doing that, I'm going to take a short rest to attune to the scabbard.
So we're not in battle anymore. I don't have to. I can just go around searching, right?
Yeah, if you want to. Erdogan, you take some time to focus on the scabbard. It's just a standard, pretty-looking scabbard.
That said, he still actually has. He's still attuned to it. He has to be away from it from a certain amount of time before you can actually attune to it.
The scabbard's just a scabbard. It's just a sheath that he had designed for the sword.
I'm going to look at everything else that was on the belt.
There was a money pouch, and there's the belt itself.
I'll open the money pouch.
Fuck is this thing?
I'm gonna recommend first. Let's check out that. Oh, you're already in that room.
Yeah, fuck is this thing?
I had to pee. Harvesting this motherfucker. Do I know what it is?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you guys go?
We're gonna
Back into the main room where the gate is destroyed, disintegrated.
The money pouch that you're holding is actually a bit of a spatial storage, but it's for money purposes, and it holds, as you're looking at it, it holds 100 platinum, 520 gold, and 100 Illyrium.
give it all to Milo, because I don't want to do math, and we'll collect our rewards.
I've already got all the. I've
I'll
already
keep
got
the
it written down. I'll do
I'll
the
keep
math.
the
later.
electrum. You split the rest, however.
All right, take that off the list.
How
So,
much
Blake,
electrum was it?
do I know what the hell this is?
With that
You
roll,
said it was 100.
100.
Yeah.
that
Fuck it.
is...
I want to do it too.
Yes, you do know what that thing is. It's the hair.
Do
Alright, well,
I?
I'm going to advise the people in the party that are proficient in nature on what parts of it are valuable. Because I'm not proficient.
I wasn't proficient in nature either. I just guidance and did my thing.
Alright, who's proficient?
Not me.
I think
Don't think
Milo
any
is.
of us are.
Milo's proficient in
Most
survival.
definitely not.
Not nature, but survival.
Oh, does survival count?
For skinning something alive, yes.
Okay,
It's
well then
alive?
whoever is the
you know.
main person doing that gets my last inspiration D10.
And guidance.
All right, so it's me, correct?
And I used my Arcana to identify what the most valuable parts are.
Well, it's got a gland in there that it's for its breath attack, which is electricity, which you know. That charges up the electricity. That's very valuable. And its teeth and its horns can be sold.
Give us a survival roll, buddy. With
Now,
a D10.
now add your D10 and add a D4.
Roll it. I mean, I can roll it for you. You want me to roll it for you?
Please, yeah, yes, please.
I'll roll mine.
Never mind.
Ooh. I don't know if it shows up, but on mine it's thinking about rolling.
Yeah, it's not actually rolling on mine.
Oh, on mine it shows you got a 1.
I meant for yours.
Oh.
To show you rolled.
There we go.
I mean, 24 is still a pretty good roll. Can we go with his D10 since he was the one with inspiration?
Yeah,
Roll
yeah.
a D4 too.
Yeah, roll a D4 too. Because technically you're the one supposed to roll it. So That would be a 35.
He successfully harvests its pee-pee and converts it into a dildo.
And presents it to Erdogan.
Nice.
He takes a little bit of time and successfully takes the gland out for the electrical breath ability. And he gets the claws, all of them, and the teeth. And you already see a big gaping hole where its stomach used to be. Before you guys even started trying to cut into him.
Assuming the
Probably
thing
where
had
the
the
orb
orb
was.
inside of it.
Or it had
Ah,
a,
yeah.
or it had a
The orb's
Setash inside of him.
That's is that bestiality? I'm sure that's bestiality.
Only if he
gross.
enjoyed it. All right.
As far as I know, like Setash could have his way with any of us. My God.
So
But
that
this?
what all did we harvest from that roll? Or
Every-
did Milo harvest?
Everything I just said. Its teeth that are still intact, its claws that are
I
still
got it
intact,
written
its
down.
horns,
It is for the group.
Oh, I didn't get the horns. Yeah, I've got the group loot.
and the gland that produces this electrical breath.
Gland of electricity is what I wrote down just for funding games.
I can probably use that.
And
And
Cade,
it goes to Ethan.
the longer you're sitting there while you're trying to attune to the scabbard, which is not magical whatsoever, you realize the belt that it's attached to is.
All right. I start rolling Arcana to see if I can tell what it is, and if not, just go ahead and try to tune to it.
Or you can ask the dude who can actually cast Identify.
Identify it.
They're busy in the other room.
Come into the room.
Yeah, it's good.
Already inspired.
Hey man, I just had to cast and walk away.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll,
see what it
go.
is. Fuck.
I'll go. I'll
None
go
of you know, and you can't attune to something that's attuned to someone else.
I'll go and like, hey, Kadir.
Yeah.
This.
What this?
Believe it has to be away from the person for 24 hours before it's no longer attuned to them.
Yes.
Can you identify this?
That has to have been away from somebody for more than 100 feet away for at least 24 hours, or
Before
the
you can
creature dies. Yep. And
Before
so
you can even identify it, or
no, before
Okay.
somebody can attune to it, I can still identify it. So I take the 10 minutes and I cast the spell as what's his name is harvesting all the crap.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to.
What's his
I'm
name?
gonna-
You sick bastard. Milo. That's easy. Milo.
All right, since we've been dungeon crawling, and I'm sure we all feel gross while he's identifying, I'm going to use prestidigitation to clean everybody up.
You take the 10 minutes to cast on the belt, and the belt is a belt of storm giant strength.
Nice.
Holy crap!
I know I would like that.
I already have a weapon that gives me that, so it's up to one of y'all.
Storm giant doesn't it have like 24?
29.
Good God!
Oh, wait, and
I mean, Erdogan doesn't need that, but nice.
Nice.
My hammer strikes would be so godly.
If everybody.
it would have no use for it. Kadir,
Kadir or Milo would be the ones that could use it the
Milo,
best.
you
It's
fight over
Milo
this.
Milo's in too much debt to get anything cool.
Yeah, I'm.
Kadir, here you go.
All right. I will hold on to it for the 24 hours and then try to attune to it when I can.
You inadvertently took his strength booster by just trying to take a scabbard that he just randomly had.
I was trying to take his weapon, but I was hoping the if it was returning weapon, it would return to the scabbard.
It returns to the wielder. So, Milo gets all the stuff off of it. Erdogan casts prestidigitation on everybody. You identify the belt, and you're going to hold on to it for a time.
So is that 100 platinum still on the table?
I'll divide it up after the session and throw it in teams so everybody knows what they're getting.
All right, bet.
We're gonna when we go. I think the next thing is to go back to the dwarves, let them know that the mission is completed, and gather all of our bonus crap because we did everything we were supposed to.
Hey, Cade,
Yes.
that area that you're in right now was turned upside down thanks to the reverse gravity, and you just see something that catches your eye a little bit in the rubble. I need you to roll a persuasion, not persuasion, but a perception to, or investigation to, it's investigation to see what it is exactly. Move the rubble around and see exactly what you see. Well, it's not very
Or
hard.
could I take a natural?
Well, that's still fine enough because you did notice it because your passive perception. You move some of the rubble around without losing sight of it, and it's a great sword.
Well, grab it. Kadir, you still have that magic shit up?
I have to cast a spell again as a ritual. Oh yeah, I can detect magic on it. Does it radiate magic?
It does.
All right, then I take the extra 10 minutes to identify it.
Okay, while I'm looking up the thing itself, I'll tell you as soon as I find it. I thought I had it pulled up already, but I didn't, so give me a second. I'm going to have to do it this way. That's not it. Give me a second. I'm having an issue remembering this stuff. I'll find the item in a second. But as I'm looking for that, you're casting it. And you didn't even have to bother using that tiara thing. Circlet of blasting.
I thought it was a circle of the spire.
Oh yeah, we still have the circlet of blasting.
While I'm still looking for this item. Where is it? I just had it not too long ago. I'll find it. Give me a second.
All right. So while he's doing that, can we all agree that we're heading back to the? Oh crap! Well, we're trying to figure out what it is while I'm doing it. Never mind.
Well, you guys can start walking, or you could have done it while you went when you got back to the tavern temporarily.
All right. Well, we'll go back and do our thing.
Where is it? I know the item. I'm just trying to remember its name. I know it's in here. Because that's where I found it. Was in here. Oh, here it is. I'm dumb. That is the Asheron blade. The black blade of this sword is crafted from a mysterious arcane alloy. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. While the sword is on your person, you are immune to effects that turn undead. It has a dark blessing. While holding this sword, you can use an action to give yourself a 1d4 +4 temporary hit points. This property can't be gained again until the next dusk. Disheartening strike. When you hit a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can fill the target with unsettling dread. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. The creature ignores this effect if it is immune to frightened condition. Once you use this property, you cannot use it again until the next dusk.
You said it was a great sword.
It is, yes. And that's the sword you found. A black great sword, Arshiran's blade.
I'm sorry. Can you just send me a link on that? I had a little one just take a tumble and I had to go check on him.
Second. Post it in chat.
I sent it to you in Discord.
There. Send
Thank you.
salutes.
And I'm pretty sure you can find someone that would be useful for a particular undead that is no longer wielding their magical weapon. Or you can try to sell it.
Erdogan did a thing in chat.
Roll a religion.
With inspiration. Could I assume guidance since he's AFK?
No need. The amulet around your neck that you're using to pray into starts to glow. And you can feel the power rating off of it again.
Ah.
As you can see, it says you can do it once a day, pretty much.
Adjust that.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
you were heard. Too bad you didn't try to do that last session before you started messing with the basilisk.
Didn't need it. Well, true, like that immunity, I could have been like, fuck you guys.
But you all head out.
Just to clarify, the person and monster are those separate actions that can be done once per day?
No, it straight up turns into person. Straight up turns into monster, so it'll work on anything.
Okay, so I can charm something once per day.
Yes. And it uses your modifier.
Beautiful.
But you go back to the elevator, so I'm going to hurry that up and go back to where you were. Pretty much right here at the bottom of the map, because this is where the elevator was. But he's not here. That's supposed to be Kadir.
I would say we're trying to return to the throne.
I speak Dwarven, tell them what we're supposed to tell them, and just say mission's been accomplished. I witnessed it. Send us back to where, or we have to go see the commander first because he's the one who gave out the mission.
Well,
That's him.
you were specifically told. No, that's the captain. You were specifically told to come back here if you survive, and you did. And like, okay, get back on the elevator and head. I'll escort you. And he walks with you.
And as I get near him, I'm going to hand him my last bit of salted pork. It's like, here,
Thank you.
to victory.
He looked at you. He's looking at you with a little bit of distrust, making sure that it's not just a bribe, that you're just being nice, because you're not a dwarf and he's not very trusting. But he takes it with a small
Kadir-
little.
Quality. It
Kadir
is high
says,
quality
"Oh, that's
salted
really
pork.
good stuff."
He has a small little grin on his face and he puts it in his side pouch. Like, I'll eat that on my break. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you guys make it here, which again, I don't have Kadir's here, obviously, because he wasn't here the last time. And you just walk across, going into the palace, which I do have Kadir's here this time. Just ignore the full HP on Cyrus. You know he's not all the way full.
He's at 80.
I can't see anybody else's HP.
And the guards in the front of the doors. State your business.
Kadir goes up, and then Dwarven basically states, "Hey, we've completed the task given to us by the captain,
Commander.
or the commander. We are here to report back to him with what is going on, and to further our mission to get our permission to have audience with the king."
Enter
But first, the commander.
enter the chamber and wait.
And I go back and I tell everybody else, this is what they said.
You all follow, and a few minutes goes by as one of the guards holler out to another one, and the commander walks down the stairs and presents himself in front of you all. I gave you 4 days, and you're back in the same day.
That's because we don't waste a round. I apologize for my tardiness. I believe there was a message as to why I was called back. But we have finished clearing out the issues. And basically, in common, so everybody can hear, I explain that we ran into basilisks. I pull out some of the, like some clothing scraps from the dark dwarves that we cleared out. And I also explain, before I say the last part, I use the ring and say, should I mention Setash?
I think the dwarves themselves can be in aid in this if we truly explain the situation.
All right. So then I explain the situation with Setash and an orb that he tried to steal out of here, that he got away from us, but we ensured that the orb was not recovered by him.
So, there are more than just those monsters the guards were talking about. The dark.
Yes, somehow the dark dwarves are getting in, and so you may want to get that area patrolled and shored up a little bit better.
That's
And I
why.
give them a general area of where they were at.
That's why we send patrols down there occasionally. Anyway, that and to feed the Bahir.
That thing's dead.
That's unfortunate.
Here
was our-
business. The Behir was what possessed the orb. Setash took it. We destroyed the orb.
We were planning on using that thing for a last line of defense if a dragon came around.
Well, Setash destroyed it, so it was dead before we got there.
That's truly unfortunate. He's going to incite you all,
Go for it.
which he's not very good on it. Very well.
Kadir says that he would. Does Kadir figure out that he's trying to incite us? Can I do a wisdom check?
I mean, he is looking at you, scanning you each as you're talking. So it's
But I'm
pretty
gonna look at
obvious.
him. I'm gonna look at him, and this is the same guy that hit me with the sword, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak plainly, and I'm gonna look at him and say, "Come here, seeking friendship and aid. There's much to gain from working together. We would not lie to you."
Speaking in Dwarven, I go, I'm related to the king of Dwarven, and here's his letter of introduction. There's no wars. There's a good bond between the two Dwarven kingdoms. I have no reason to lie. You're either going to trust us or you're not. If you have the time to think on it, then send us to Moradin's chapel, and I will pray there.
Why are there two Kadir?
There is, because I
Yeah,
was trying to.
was
Sorry, my kid got a hold of my mouse, and then he happened to hit the button that does the back page on my Roll20, which took me out of the game. And when I went back in, I was trying to open my character sheet again and actually just drag to the screen instead of double clicking.
Okay, he's gone now.
Thank you.
Excuse me. He's listening to you, and then he speaks very plainly to you. You've proven yourselves to be trustworthy. We will send some people down later on to confirm, but I believe you for the most part. And you have to forgive me. When you've been at war for 200 years, you become a little mistrusting.
Understand.
I've been
Using
at
the rings again, do we want to mention anything about the dragon cache crap that we found for that weird group?
You were told that if you succeeded in this, that he would personally give you a pass to go around the city and allow you to open up your own investigation on Dragonheart and everything to help with fully finding the link between the Outreach Empire and Dragonheart.
Okay.
Well, I would very close to him. I don't want anyone else to hear. I'm gonna ask him if we can speak in private.
How about this? You've proven yourselves. Come upstairs with me. There's someone you would like that would like to meet you. And he just guides you up the stairs, which you don't really have to move because it's a new map. Get rid of these guys.
Get rid of them. What happened? Were they taken out? Are we under attack?
He walks through the chamber after going up the stairs. Follow me. And just leads you down this hallway. Your Highness, I bring visitors. He goes up to the man sitting on the throne and bows. And that's an old token. I have actually replaced that since then, so give me a second. I got a better one.
Through the rings, Kadir says, don't get any closer than, don't go past me. When I bow, you bow.
I knew I was forgetting something.
So Kadir goes up to here, and he doesn't go any further. And then through the rings, he says, okay, everybody, we're going to bow. And then He starts his bow, a slow bow, and in Dwarven he gives an ancient greeting to the king, and asks Morden's blessings upon the kingdom of Ironforge.
Have we had time between the last session and now for a short rest?
You've had a few short rests.
Okay, well then I'm giving Kadir inspiration for what he just did.
Oh, am I going to need to roll?
Not currently, no.
If you
Okay.
need a roll, you have inspiration.
For
I
the,
love you, Erdogan. Platonically, of course.
All homo here.
rise, rise. You're under a diplomatic thing and you're not a member of this kingdom. I appreciate the pleasantries, though. I've been
Out of character, is the commander going to start something, or are we just here to plead our case?
The king speaks up. I've been made aware of everything you've been doing, of the promises made to you, and of the situation at hand. I've even heard what was going on downstairs. I apologize for the little test, but I had to make sure you were actually capable.
Kadir does kind of like a half bow. It is understood, Your Majesty. We are of course here to be of service through our travels and what we're trying to get done. Only keeping allies is there. Keeping allies is very important, as proof with me being here with the blessing of my king.
You're a lot like your cousin. You speak a lot. You can see the dwarf. He's a little older. I mean, he's roughly the same age as you, Kadir, maybe a little bit older. And he's just sitting there on his throne with a hammer next to him that looks a lot like Allfather's hand, but different. It just slight, subtle differences. He's scanning you with like knowing eyes.
Then let us speak plainly.
I know why you're here.
Your men here, are they all above reproach, beyond any suspicion?
These men in this room go where I go. Do not leave. They even sleep in a room separate from me, which is guarded by other men, so where they are not allowed to leave. And it kind of helps that they don't have tongues.
Tongues. Can they write?
Can you?
Yes. So what I will say, may I approach? What I have to say I don't want to have in on anyone else's ears.
As you say that, the commander puts his hand on not the sword on his side this time, but he has a battle axe on his back that he puts his hand towards. I'll be watching you. And the king permits you to approach.
I'm going to inspire myself just in case. Do I sense that anyone other than the commander is within earshot, if I'm speaking softly?
Uh, if you're whispering, as long as they can't read lips or anything, you'd be fine. But the two guards behind him, which look way more elitist than the guards around the town, both of them are holding rifles pointed directly at you.
Fine. I'm going to step one step forward. I assume he already knows who I am, but I'm going to very subtly show him my signet ring. Sure, your commander has already explained to you who I am.
That he has. And I already know, son of Raven.
I intend to use my blood as a means to seek out this Dragonheart menace and uncover their intent.
I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for the fact that we're at war and we're stretched as thin as we are, we would have already attacked the Outreach Empire ourselves long ago after their last little escapade.
Majesty, you have my word. I will seek in it a means to end their treachery, their dark intent. But any action you may take at this point, I fear, will only be a means to advance Lord Raven's machinations. Beg you, take no action at this point. Let us uncover these plots, weaken you, and advance Raven's power.
We have the reports. Somehow they got a hold of one of our ships. Not our newest, but still. And those ships are designed to fight ancient dragons and have an advantage over those beasts. Just one of them can lay waste to a country. And that's what he has at his disposal right now. And you asked me not to try to send a few ships down there to destroy it and destroy their army. You have to understand where my position I'm from. That looks poorly on my country. That our technology is being used to lay waste to neighboring nations. So, if you want me to not act, I would ask you to do your best to root out this Dragonheart for us, because we're getting nowhere. And we haven't for some time.
I'd say if you must act before we can root out Dragonheart, act with Raven. Aid us as we seek to stop Raven and retrieve your technology that the Outreach should not have. And as men, I feel there's no better way to understand each other than through strength of arm. Your Majesty, you have quite a weapon next to you. Request a taste.
He looks at you very, very confused.
Step back. Next to the commander, who has already seen Erdogan do this.
As he picks it up, you can see the other side now, and it's not actually a hammer but an axe with the hammer head on the back end. He just had the axe pointed towards him.
Would I know what that is from potentially a religious check, since if it's like the All-Father's Hand, it'll have religious significance?
Oh, you don't need that. You know the stories of the King of Ironforge. It's wielded. This weapon is wielded by every king. You know the stories well. It started getting wielded after the disappearance of Allfather's hand. This is the axe of the Dwarvish lords.
Oh, crap.
If you
Out of
wish,
character, I actually know some stuff about that.
if you wish, very well. And he stands up. And without getting any closer to you, he throws the weapon at you. Oops.
It's never good when the king throws a weapon.
I
And
rolled a
says, "Oops."
23, but unfortunately, it didn't see. You didn't see it, so because I had it in DM roll.
I'll take. My intent was to take the hit, so give me the 23.
Why are you taking the hit?
Because this is the way I bond with dwarves.
This builds respect.
Kadir looks.
Except Kadir. Kadir's never hit him.
Kadir looks up at the ceiling, just kind of shakes his head, and is muttering in Dwarvish.
Ouch. Do I need to roll something to not go ow? Like, is that a Constitution?
Give me a second. You're actually lucky you didn't roll you didn't roll a nat 20, because this weapon has a chance. If it rolls a nat 20, it automatically does an extra 4d6 damage, and he gets to roll another d20. And if he gets another nat 20, you immediately lose one of your limbs.
Excellent.
Yes, roll a Constitution save. These guys like to hit you for 14 damage. The last one was 14 as well.
And I inspired myself. 18.
And after the axe hits you, it goes right back to his hand.
And I will draw my rapier. May I?
Kadir in horror looks over. No, you're not going to hit a dwarven king. You might not be my king, but I'll even smack you.
Between two men.
I'm honor bound as a dwarf to protect this king. Do not swing at him.
I won't if he says no.
And at that point in time, Kadir would actually step forward and pull out a little baby hammer.
Which Erdogan knows what the little baby hammer is.
We are...
Commander Holdrick steps forward. If you must hit somebody, hit me. I did hit you pretty hard the last time I saw you.
You most certainly did. I find that men of honor, men of war, find understanding most in strength of arm.
He raises his hand. He raises his hands and puts him on top of his head, so he's not going to move. So you just have a clear shot. So roll it and then immediately do the damage, unless you roll lower than his armor without his. Technically, that would have missed, but you're still going to hit him because he's letting you hit him.
I trust him to tell the king that that hurt like hell. It did as much damage as he did to me.
The boy has a pretty good swinging arm, my lord. He can take as good as he gets. I mean, he can give as good as he gets.
Hold out my hand to the commander. And I'm going to mention, Blake, you remember the DM I gave you?
Pocket sand?
Drinks.
Yes.
The specific drink I messaged you.
I can't remember it. I have to try to find it.
All right, I'm going to hold out my hand and say the bar. I'm going to name the bar, but I don't remember the name of it. Confirm they have Milligan's Deep Stout. If you join us, first round's on me.
Unfortunately, and this is the commander talking, after this meeting I have to head back north.
You kidding me? Milligan's Deep Stout is like legendary among dwarves. You don't tell me he's not tempted. Like even the king should be tempted from that.
We are honor bound to unfortunately decline, but the gesture is appreciated.
Send some with you when you have some downtime.
Kadir gently steps back.
The king happens to notice what you did, Kadir, and looks at Milo, sees his arm. He immediately stands up off the throne and walks down. Walks around. Looks closer at Milo's arm. Where'd you get that stuff on your arm?
The prosthetic hands, it was made here.
Not the prosthetic limb, the decoration on it.
A fallen friend. A close friend.
What was your friend's name?
Thorn.
And up until this point, you saw a calm, collected king. But the three of you standing directly in front of him immediately see a flash of emotion and eyes holding back tears. Who killed him?
A man by the name of Setash.
He was the one that was in the
Who took his
dungeons
arm?
below.
He also took my arm. Thorn risked his life so that I could have mine.
And he will be rewarded in Moradin's halls.
He went missing 20 years ago. So that's what happened to him.
Out of character, just a refresh. Doesn't my buddy, the old dwarf, Graybeard, didn't he know something about this whole mess too?
He knew that the Prince Thorin had went missing 20 years ago, and Milo filled in the blanks on what happened.
Okay. There was something though about Graybeard and the King though that I don't remember. I'd like to roll a wisdom check to see if I remember it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep clicking the wrong stat.
It's more or less he wanted the king to know, and he kind of suggested to keep some of the information to yourself. But unfortunately, that's passed because it was all told him.
Which I did not do. I spilled the beans, guys.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying anything through the ring, so it's like I didn't remember it. Kadir probably remembered after the fact and go through the ring, say, "Hey, lad, just best keep your some of the details on the down low." Reminder: our old buddy didn't want us to tell. Don't say too much more.
So you're also saying that the Setash has made himself known in my city, in my land, and killed my guardian?
As far as we know, yes.
But he is our enemy. He is part of the reason we are here. We would ask, we understand the pain and the loss of your son. And I would say, allow this dwarf, this servant of Moradin, to be one of the ones to help bring justice and peace back to this realm by us continuing our quest to take him out and stop his deeds. And then I take a step forward, I kneel down, I hold the hammer in one hand and hold out my other hand like it's ready to hold the side, and I say, "This is a quest that has been given to me by Moradin." And then, using my action, I turn it into the Allfather's hand. And this is my proof.
That weapon has been missing since my father was king. Where did you come across it?
The Allfather commanded me to retrieve it.
That doesn't answer my question, but...
At this, he sent me through to find an old dwarf, one that I believe that you would know. Graybeard. Sorry, I keep clicking on crap on my computer and opening the wrong thing. I'm not having a good clicking day. Baldric Graybeard
Baldric?
was the last Wilder, and by his request and by the edicts of Moradin, we brought him back here, so he is now in your kingdom. I do not know his current whereabouts, but he is at the end of his cycle, and he wished to die in his home.
Both Halderic and the king grin. That old bastard. Halderic... Baldric Graybeard is what he goes by now. I would imagine if he's still alive, which I believe you, he would be rather gray at this point. He used to be known as Commander Baldric.
He is a strong and sturdy dwarf, one of the sturdiest ones that I've seen Moradin make.
I'd
It was my
imagine.
honor to make his pleasure, or to make friends with his acquaintance.
I'd,
Kadir then stands up since the king doesn't look like he wants to see the weapon, and he holds it in one hand but steps back with no threat.
he probably made you fight him too, didn't he?
He did, and
That
he is
poor old
one
man.
strong bugger.
Oh, you should have seen him 100 years ago. I'd imagine age has caught up with him a little bit now.
Still, woes to those who would challenge him.
Commander Haldrick, if you would be so kind to send out a missive to find him. If my father was alive today as king, he'd probably have him slapped in irons, but what's done is done. Take him with you up north. Grant him what he wants. Very well, your Majesty. As for the 5 of you, I'm going to help you twofold. You're permitted to go around the city, the top level, freely. But please ask permission before you head down so we know to any other levels so we know where you're at each level. But you're free to explore the city. You're not free to explore my castle.
Damn.
You have a week to flesh out these leads before I'm forced to have no choice but to go after the Outreach, I'm afraid. Find out who's behind this, and let's try to do this as most diplomatic way as possible. Find out proof that we can show the Outreach Empire's Emperor. And then we can do two things. Get my property back and the head of your father. And the next thing I'm going to do to help you, you find out where this son of a bitch Setash is, and I will put on the entire might of the Ironforge military on his head. That's a promise. You have my word.
My axe.
We will do all that we can, Your Majesty.
I'm sorry for the time restraint, but I have to take action one way or the other, even if it means that my troops are cut in half, one fighting Outreach, one fighting the dragons.
Of our quest to clear the area below, I understand we are to be rewarded.
Yes, you have 5. Well, there were 4 small chests. Well, 8 in all. 4 had 500 gold each, and the other 4 had 500 platinum each. Since there were 5 of you that came to be, that has been since corrected. And with all the news, you are free to take the small chest of 500 platinum each. But I have one final question. How far into the Bahir's chamber did you go?
Just the Bahir itself.
Just beyond it is our treasure room.
We did not venture there. I cannot say whether or not Setash did.
I believe you. We'll send some troops down there, repair the damage, and you say during all this explanation, which I'm going to say you guys did, there was a crack in the floor, and that's where you think the basilisk came from?
possibly also where the Duergar arose from, but anywhere from the Underdark that finds a way upward, they could have arose.
Well, those vermin are good for one thing. They might make their way into our mines and our abandoned areas of the city occasionally, but they keep mind flayers at bay. Did you all hear that?
Repeat.
Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Those vermin might creep their way into our mines and our abandoned parts of our city occasionally, but they are good for one thing. They generally keep the mind flayers at bay.
The what now?
A being that you do not want to encounter.
Mind flayers
Iliad
like... Go ahead, young dwarf. Well, sorry, you're not very young, but go ahead.
Kadir basically, they're like an octopus-like creature with tentacles. They enslave the minds of those who trespass in their domains. They use them as slaves and food. That's all I really know of them. They are not something you want to trifle with.
They will devour the brain directly from a living being.
So Erdogan is safe. No?
The king grins a little bit at that. I will tell you all this. I have my suspicions. I'm pretty sure you've heard the rumor that we have a new high priest in the city.
Yes.
While it's true that our old high priest was old, he was still in relatively decent health. I wouldn't go right out and try to investigate the temple, but keep a close eye on it. We haven't been able to prove anything yet ourselves, but maybe you can.
Through the rings, Kadir says, do we want to keep the portion about our dragon person that we saw go in there? Do we want to tell the king, or do we want to save that until we have a chance to investigate?
Let's investigate.
Cade, what do you think?
Wait. We should tell the king, shouldn't we? Through the ring.
Cade or Erdogan?
Do we have any reason to doubt the king?
No, not at all. In fact, that was Kadir's hunch. When he saw the guy go in there and what he was hearing, things didn't add up from the story that you told him. So this is just adding more, almost confirming Kadir's earlier suspicions. So after the king says that, and after this, just a pause as we're thinking, Kadir does pipe up. I'll be happy to not make suspicions, but take a look upon Moradin's temple. As one of his flock, I surely should be welcomed in there.
I do advise caution, though. We have reports of Dragonheart agents. Unfortunately, they tend to be quite stealthy and elude us a lot, so we don't ever see where they tend to go. If you can manage to follow them, maybe they can lead you to where you need to go.
in the ring. Huh. Maybe for now we'll just keep it quiet, and we'll let him know after the fact. And he looks at the king. We will do our best. Thank you for the wise words of caution.
You're free to stay at any of the other taverns we have, but if you're keen on that one, I want you to know that while you're staying here, as a thank you for going above and beyond what we asked of you down in our abandoned level, while you're here, you'll all have private rooms in whatever tavern you choose to stay in, paid by the throne.
We are
Um,
honored.
through the ring. Do we keep to ourselves that we kind of harvested?
Kadir says yes. There is no need to. They can just assume that it was dead. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir.
But that being said, I would appreciate you giving us back our firearms. You have permission to purchase from our shops if you wish, and we'll give access to you for certain things, but the ones that you have on your possession do belong to the military, I'm afraid.
Bird drop.
So anyone that happens to have gotten a weapon from that crate has to turn it back in now.
Kadir never grabbed any, and sure, if Cyrus had any, he would hand them over.
Cyrus only has a weapon that he got from Clerk himself, not from the
Yeah.
crate. The only
So
two that
then-
actually grabbed something, I think, was Erdogan and Cade, roll me an intelligence to see how well you actually studied the weapon before you had to turn it back in real quick. I'll give you advantage on this because you had a few hours. Oh, for the rifle, with a 15, you believe that you wrote up a pretty decent schematic on possibly being able to recreate that weapon. You'd have to hand it over to an engineer to see if they can fine-tune the schematic and attempt to create it.
Yeah.
But with what your notes and your drawings, you're fairly confident that it should be enough for a decent engineer.
Then when I was done, I would have put it back in the crate.
So I'm going to just say Erdogan hand it over if he still has it. And if that's all, I will have you take your leave. Go rest. You've earned it.
I went through the ring, target Kadir. No, not necessarily now, but when you can you bring up potential ambassadorship with Alkaleed and
Kadir
potential
said-
shop?
Kadir says yes. Let's do that at our week's end report. For now, we're going to be basically, if the king's dismissing us, we're about to overstay our welcome.
So you're free to explore the city now, but we're going to end it here. Would you like me to put back over towards a tavern where you guys can rest?
I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're dismissed back to and you head back towards the tavern.
And when I'm in my room, the last thing I'll do is pull out the orb and give a report.
You notice that when you're trying to use the orb, there seems to be some type of issue with the reception, like it's not going through the mountain, like the earth.
I'll put it back for later.
You assume
Make a
that it
mental note.
probably there's probably a lot of iron in the ground, I mean, a lot of lead in the ground.
Yeah.
And it also makes you wonder, while you're doing that, which no one else has attempted anything like this, where did Setash go? Because that spell would you're not quite you personally aren't quite sure how teleportation works because you don't have any of those spells except for, I think, Dimension Door. I don't know if you even have that.
No.
So you're not quite sure how it works, but if it's anything like what you just tried to do, he shouldn't have been able to get through the mountain that you know of. You'd have to investigate further to see.
Right.
Or ask someone else who can actually cast teleportation magic.
I'll ask Erdogan later, or I'll actually wait for contact Franlin.
Which you do know that I think Kadir, did you contact Franlin while you were in here, or did you do that while you were above ground? I can't remember.
I did that, I believe, when I was at the inn.
Yeah, you notice that the telepathy seems to work to an extent. As far as you know, it can work. Telepathy spells abilities can work to an kind of. You didn't see much of an issue with it at the time that you thinking about it. When you heard from Franlin, you just heard a simple, easy reply, and that was it. But it wasn't an elongated, drawn-out conversation by any means. You don't know how well it would work if you try to do an extended conversation outside of Ironforge.
Mm-hmm.
Or even from level to level in Ironforge. You just don't know unless you experimented. But you assume that it's either high levels of lead in the earth, or they have some type of preventative measure that makes it more difficult for things like that to work. You're not sure which. Without further investigation.
Okay.
So, this is where we're going to end off for the day. You guys did great. And I will go ahead and say that after a fight like you guys pulled off, you can go ahead and jump up to level 11.
All right. Which? Give me a second. Which am I taking?
After what you just pulled off to keep from dying, you're going to go with Warlock. So, for all of you that decided to stick out for this entire venture, I appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.